I imagine she might have been a bit shocked because I had this small little bag and I was like, okay, cool. Here. And I just like thrust the bag towards her, you know. Hey everyone, before we get started, as always, please remember to like, comment, subscribe, rate, hit the notification button, whatever you need to do to get the latest updates when the episodes come out. Let me know how you feel about the podcast, good, bad, indifferent, whatever. I want to hear your opinion. The world, the internet wants to hear your opinion about the podcast. Thanks a lot. Let's get into it. Yo ho ho, well, what's up? 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 Welcome to what's up? Welcome to episode 156. Quick episode. Again, I explain what's going on with me schedule wise and a lot of different other stuff in the episode, but pretty much we're just continuing the list. I speed through it a bit, but I still, give a bit of info, a few tips and advice. Plus, there's a really, 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 really good supplementary video in the description wherever you're listening to or watching this. So definitely check that out. Definitely check out the whole episode. Definitely enjoy. Yo, what's going on, everyone? Welcome to episode, what is this, one? Fuck, I forgot. Fuck, I forgot. What is this? 156? 156? Yeah, this is 156. Okay, episode 156 of the podcast. I forgot I got some other shit for you guys. Go ahead, check the. Wait, let me see what I got. See, I'm just completely unprepared because I had a busy day and doing family stuff, but I think I do have some. Oh yeah, what you gonna? Yeah, that's what I had for you guys. Definitely, I'm not gonna do a review of it right now, just because I wanted to do a quick episode. Let me make sure I'm recording. I forgot to double check. Yep. Okay. I wanted to just do a quick episode tonight, but last night I was on my timeline popped up a really really interesting mini documentary about what is in my throat? Okay, about the Nissan situation and a guy who was in the middle of it, a foreign guy, really interesting mini doc. I'll just put it as supplementary information, but as you know, longtime listeners in the past, like when the story broke several years ago about Carlos Ghosn being arrested, and of course in his subsequent fly by night, was it fly by night or in the middle of the night, Great Escape to Lebanon. I kind of wrote about, I kind of commented about those things, and corporate culture in Japan and how it can kind of turn against you if you are not really of the system. And I think that mini documentary, just from the guy's words, is done really well. Gives you a glimpse. I think it's not. Of course, he's not Japanese, so it's a lot more sinister and a lot more menacing than I believe it was in reality, just because some of the things, him being followed and things like that, I don't think it was anything life-threatening or whatever, but I can completely understand like how he felt and how he would feel in that situation. And, I would probably be upset too if I were him. But it does give you a glimpse into kind of how Japan, the wall of pillows in Japan can kind of turn against you, I would say. And yeah, it's just really good supplementary information. Check it out in the comments. The previous episode as well, lots of good stuff in there. Again, I'm going to try and just keep finding supplementary information, links, and stuff like that for you guys. I'll let you know if I find something interesting. Even if I don't really talk about it here as much. I'd like, to keep pumping information about Japan to you guys, articles, videos. I'm a fan of videos as well, mini docs and stuff like that. I just think it's cool shit, and I was showing some shit to my wife the other day, that I was putting in the podcast, and she was like, yeah, fuck, that's kind of cool, and I think so too. I like to be, boutique. And also another thing really quick before I get started, I noticed like the episode I did a while back about the Japanese YouTuber. I won't say the person's name, but the Japanese YouTuber that I responded to very a video that he made that I highly disagree with. That apparently has become like my number one video on YouTube, I guess, just because like I don't know, I've attracted a few trolls, people talking about it, which is fine with me. But actually, I forgot her name, but someone, hopefully you're listening. If you stuck around, I really appreciate you taking the time to write me that long comment. Even she questioned my approach and my criticism of him, and I wrote a really, I thought, appropriate reply, and she accepted it, and she said like, yeah, that kind of makes sense, but that's cool. I mean, I'm not trying to be known for that video, I'm not trying to get clout for that, but I do appreciate having honest interactions with people, even if I gotta keep going back and leaving comments with people based on that video. That's totally fine with me. I'm just kind of happy that that at least one person could kind of understand the perspective of people, me and people like me on that issue. Even if I'm still like, fuck that dude, like I'll probably be like, if I see him in the street, I'm like, yeah, all right, whatever, fuck you, dude. But hey, that's what it is. You can see why I say fuck that dude. So, but it's cool. It's kind of interesting. That interaction made, I looked at the analytics of that video. I was like, oh shit, like YouTube likes that video. Fuck, man. So I don't know, but whatever. It's all good. Okay. So anyway, let me get into it again. I'm not going to do that much of this list. I do want to try and get through the full list. I'm not going to do it this episode, just because. FYI, just a quick letting you know, this month, April 2021, when this is coming out, it's going to be kind of a really busy month for me. I just got the word like the other week that I'm got kind of some VIP private lessons, online lessons going on. I can't really give too much information about it. Sorry, I just can't. But I mean, not super VIP, but I've done some VIP lessons in the past with well-known people, and this is kind of another one of those instances. So I kind of got to be on my tip-top A game. I got to shave tomorrow or trim my goatee, make sure I look fresh. But yeah, so it's gonna be kind of take quite a bit of effort because I'm working, doing my regular schedule plus this in my evenings this month. I got like a special schedule for it, so which is normally the times I record and edit and things like that. Even that's why I was like, fuck, like I kind of should do something tomorrow, but I was like, let me just record this and then I can get it out later on. Whenever this comes out, whenever I have time to get it edited and get it uploaded, I'll do it. But so I might not be sticking to the weekly schedule this month. I don't know what will happen after April, but for the schedule I have locked in for this particular lesson group session, whatever the fuck you want to call it, is for this month. So whatever, we'll figure out what happens, but just to give you a heads up on that, you expect some delays this month once I really get into the meat of this month, just because it's good. I get the feeling it's gonna take a lot of effort, energy, whatever, time for me to really make this thing happen. So, but whatever, it's worth it. It's worth it. So all right, but anyway, whatever. Here we go. So last time we stopped on number 79, and so number 80 of the, again, continuing the list of parts of Japanese culture is Ochugen and Osebo. Now Ochugen and Osebo, Ochugen is summer and winter gifts. So Ochugen is summer, Osebo is winter, and gifts. And basically twice a year, Japanese people love exchanging gifts, right? That's just something you gotta get used to. Personally, as a Western person, sometimes it feels like it's just a complete like exercise. If you sit, it's just like a meaningless exercise because like I give you something, you give me something. They have to balance each other out. Like we might as well not just give each other anything. It just makes it a whole lot easier. But that's part of like the communication, the base of communication, interaction, which builds the base of mutual respect and trust, and togetherness, I guess, of Japanese people in society. So it's just something that Japanese people go through. So yeah, me personally, like it's not a mandatory kind of thing, but I have received Ochugen and Oseibo presents from students, private students in the past. And, if you do get in those situations, you're not obligated to give anything back, because if you do, you can't just do it once. It's a repeated thing. Like, trust me. So my advice is, if you're in that situation, you receive a type of gift from a student or client or something, just reply with a thank you, reply with an email, oh, wow, thank you again so much. It's so great, like so delicious, hoo, 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 hoo. Something like that, something respectful is enough, basically. But, fruits, meats, food, mainly food-based stuff is kind of what you get during those times. But, it is nice. But yeah, 79. Yosakoi Festival Yosakoi is a dance variation of traditional Japanese dance. Is a very colorful, lively dance festival all over Japan. Of course, now with the current situation, that's not really happening. Didn't happen last year. Probably not going to happen this year. I've never been to one live, but the guy, my mentor, one of his mentors, his company had like a group in that festival. So I was always seeing pictures and stuff from that guy going to the biggest festival in Japan and going all crazy, which I thought was kind of cool. At some point in time, it's not really my thing. So, all right, whatever. Let me just move on to 78, Golden Week. Golden Week, I've talked about before. Golden Week's coming up. Is kind of what the beginning of May, end of April, beginning of May, a series of holidays. Golden Week and summer holiday are kind of the two. Golden Week, summer holiday, end of the year are like the three main times in Japan for travel. This year, I'm wondering what's going to happen, because since, with the situation, again, me not saying the word, the situation over the past year, last year, Golden Week, everyone just stayed home, was in the house. This year, I'm wondering if people are going to actually probably gonna venture out and travel, but of course, it's gonna be domestic travel. International travel is not really a thing yet. So I don't know really what's gonna happen. The last part of this Golden Week is travel chaos. So true. It's fucking ridiculous. Like it is. It's just fucking ridiculous. I think I've told you my philosophy of Golden Week is I stay the fuck home. I ain't trying to go nowhere during Golden Week just because everywhere is ridiculously crowded. Like, I don't even want to go to the fucking shopping mall during Golden Week because just like you're just stuck in traffic like wherever you go. It's just fucking ridiculous. So yeah. But I mean, on the opposite end of the spectrum though, is quiet at home, like, in my general area, at my work area. It's kind of work. I know work's busy for me during Golden Week because everyone's on vacation. They're bored. They don't know what the fuck to do, so they want to come in and study English. So that's one of the biggest times of the year for me is Golden Week. So I gotta actually put in my schedule for that and make sure I'm there on point, ready to go, ready to make this English teacher cash during Golden Week. But yeah, so if you do come to Japan as an English teacher and you are in a relationship, that can kind of become a point of tension, contention. My wife is kind of used to it, and now I'm in a job where I can actually take days off at will. So it's not as much of a thing, but she does know, like, during Golden Week I do want to work as much as I can, just because like it's better for me. Pays a little bit higher and stuff like that. And there's a lot more bookings for me during that time. So but she's off, so it's just like, hey, I want to spend time together. You can see if you have a significant other, I want to spend time with you. But if you're an English teacher, you're probably gonna have to work, unless you're like an ALT or something like that. If you're a Kaiwa teacher, you're probably gonna have to work. So that could become a point of contention. Just a fair warning. Depending on your job, where you work at, it could be a thing. 77, bentos. Bentos are delicious. There are so many of them. Lunch boxes, like wide varieties, wide different stuff. It's just great. Like, I think they speak for itself. Store-bought ones. If you even, like, I think I told you before, like, I used to live off of like this bento place. Like, they just old ladies just cooking stuff up and they're just selling it by like the weight. I used to just live off of it, and that you could just order bentos. Like, it was pretty much the closest thing to, like, for homemade stuff. Like, it's fast food, but it's just so much better than like eating like Burger King every day, you know. I don't know the name of the place. I just know the sign. It was like a pink sign. Like I know exactly what it looks like. But yeah, I'm not gonna even bother putting it in the description. But if you, whatever, if you can buy a fucking bento, buy a bento. Preferably not a convenience store bento. It would be my advice. You know, if you can get a store bought one, get a store bought one. The closest to fresh. It makes a difference, right? Nothing wrong with convenience store ones, but they got preservatives and shit in there. All right, 76, Japanese candy. Yep. You know, there's always something interesting when you travel down the Japanese candy aisle. You know, some hits, some misses, some craziness, but some, you know, good shit. Really speaks for itself. Valentine's Day and White Day, you've heard me complain about this a few months ago. Again, you know, it's kind of split between two holidays. There's not like simultaneous giving and receiving of romantic shit, or as in the West. Valentine's Day is strictly for the ladies to give to guys, and then the guys have to reciprocate on White Day, which is March 15th. By the way, this year White Day, I completely forgot. Like I bought at Costco, I just bought a big bag of chocolates, but I forgot to bring them to work that day, so I just like fuck. So I just like I just opened it up one day. I went to eat chocolate. I just ate a bunch of chocolate. I don't eat chocolate. Like once a month I eat chocolate. I just binge, and then I'm just like, okay, I'm done for like a few weeks. So I came back in the house. I was like, fuck, I really want to eat some chocolate. Sorry, busy day. I was like, fuck, I really want to eat some chocolate, and I saw that big ass bag poking through, and I was like, fuck it. You know, it's getting warm. It's gonna melt anyway. Let me just open it up. Ate a bunch of them, gave a bunch of them away, and then just took the rest to work and just like, everyone sprinkled it all over the place. Funny thing, our dog groomer, right? It was a weird interaction. Like I kind of realized, like in hindsight, like I kind of might have fucked up that interaction, because long story short, I was supposed to pick my dog up from the dog groomer. And like I fucked up the time or whatever, but the bag of chocolates that I opened, my mother-in-law was like, hey, you know, as actually reciprocating a gift that the dog groomer gave, I think some vegetable, I forgot what it was. It's yamaimo, I forgot how to say it. It's way too complicated to explain. All right, whatever, fine. It's like a radish. It's like a sticky radish. It's really good, but it's like a sticky, slimy kind of radish when you grind it up. But anyway, so randomly we got that from the dog groomer. So to reciprocate, she was like, do you mind if we give some of these delicious chocolates to the dog groomer? I was like, hey, cool, it's a bunch of them, I don't give a fuck, whatever, we gotta get rid of these shits. I gotta put the rest of them in my bag anyway. It's way too much. It's annoying to carry this. It's a Costco bag, so it's like a big ass bag of like some pretty good chocolate. So I'm like, I ain't trying to take this big heavy ass bag to work. So take as many as you fucking want, give them to everybody, I don't care. So, you know, I was supposed to pick the dog up, but I kind of wasn't really paying too much attention to what she was saying. So I actually got the order of what I was supposed to do things wrong. And I was supposed to go pick everyone else, my wife and my son, up, then go to the dog groomer. But I went to the dog groomer first. So I went there and she was like, oh shit, your dog's not ready. Like, okay. But I had the bag of chocolate. So I was like, all right, cool, my bad. Like, you know, all right, no problem. I'll just come back later. We kind of talked about, you know, it worked out great, because actually the time I was supposed to come back was actually still too early, so she wanted me to come back later. So I was like, all right, cool. But then I was like, oh shit, I got this bag of chocolates. So this is where it gets awkward, and like, because giving thing, you know, Japanese people kind of look into stuff sometimes, you know, and I kind of realized when I got back in the car, like I imagine she might have been a bit shocked, because I had this small little bag and I was like, okay, cool, here. And I just like thrust the bag towards her, you know, and it was clearly like a present, but you know, how do I explain? You know, in Japan, like me doing something like that could kind of, without explanation, could kind of seem like I'm propositioning her, you know, or like I'm kind of confessing that I like her or something like that. It could be, you know, deemed as like a romantic gesture, you know, and I saw her face kind of like, what are you doing? You know, not like shocked, like, oh shit, it's going down, kind of like, oh fuck, because it was just like us two there, you know. And so I had talked to her before, you know, she's married, and, you know, but we're about the same age, and you know, you know what I'm saying? It could kind of, it could go like that. It could be seen like that. And so I was like, I saw her reaction, and I was like, "Oh yeah, wait, no, the Yamaimo." I was like, I'm trying to explain, like, you know, it's not from me; it's from my mother-in-law. So just take it. I mean, I didn't think like it could be seen as romantic gesture at that moment, but I just kind of saw her reaction, her kind of shocked reaction. So, you know, because a lot of times, like in hindsight, actually too, because you know that kind of just like fine here, kind of just like I don't know what the fuck to do, just take this kind of thing is actually how Japanese people, because you're if you see in movies and TV shows, again, it's never really happened to me, but I've kind of seen it happen like to another person, like how someone who likes someone generally, like in kind of like a juvenile way, I don't know if young adults do it too, but Japanese people are generally very shy and, you know, don't really communicate their feelings so much openly. So a lot of times when people do try to communicate their feelings openly, it's kind of blurted out or, you know, given indirectly through a gesture like a card or a note or a present or something like that. And that's also blurted out too. It's just like, "Bleh, here, take it," you know, and then people run away or something, can't, you know, or whatever. Um, so the way, in hindsight, the way I did it is actually how Japanese people confess that they like someone to each other. And I realized that when I got into the car, and I was like, oh shit, that must have been awkward for her for a second. And it reminds me of, I don't know if I ever told you guys, fuck, I never told you guys this. Okay. I don't think I should tell this. Okay. All right. Okay. Okay, I'll tell this story. It's kind of something. Let me see. What time is it? All right. Story time, people. Okay. So, God, I hope my wife never hears this. So, like several years ago, like when I lived in central Tokyo, with my wife, and there was like this grocery store, really nice grocery store, that opened up. Young couple worked there, and you know they started up. We were friends, and you know, cute young wife. It's not about them, by the way. Um, but you know, so I used to go there buy beer. It was like organic, like healthy kind of food stuff. So baking, you know, goods for baking, cookies. I started getting into baking and stuff. They had, you know, domestically grown, natural stuff, some organic stuff, some good craft beer. So I was always going in there. And you know, both of them could speak English. The wife, you know, I think grew up in the States. The husband was half Japanese, but you know, he was also really, really fluent in English. I spent a lot of time in the States as well. So, you know, we got along really well. And they hired kind of like, you know, women in their early 30s, housewives, stuff like that, around the same age or whatever, women. And one of the staff members, I forgot if she was married or single, maybe single. She carried herself like maybe she was single, but she knew I was married. I came in with my wife sometimes. But, you know, in Japan, that's not really a big issue. But like, so sometimes I come in and talk to her, stuff like that. And like one time I went into the store and I was buying some fruits or something. And I went in and it was just me and her in the store. And I went to counter. I was buying lemons. That's what it was, right? And some natural lemons. And and she was like, oh, konnichiwa, or something like that. We were talking in Japanese. And I was like, ah, kincho shitemasu. Like, you know, I was like, basically, I was like, oh, I'm so nervous. You know, and she was like, why are you so nervous? You know? And I was like, oh, because I got to bake this pie. I never baked it before. And her face just totally dropped and she got so fucking serious. And she was like, oh, okay. And then she just like rung up my stuff and she just gave me like the dirtiest look ever. And it was like, why, what, you know? And so I think another one of my students or someone who I confided in, you know, I was really close with the next day or something like that. I asked him, I was like, I had this weird encounter, like, you know, and I told him what happened, and he was like, he just shook his head. He was like, dude, like, you saying something like that, he was an older guy. He was like, you saying something like that is how guys try to, you know, let girls know that they like them, basically. And so she was probably really upset that, you know, she probably liked you and thought you were trying to let her know that you thought she was pretty or something like that, and you just totally didn't do it. And I was like, oh my bad. Sorry, I just want some lemons. Had to make that lemon tart pie. So yeah. I don't know why I got off that on that tangent. So okay, let me just power through the rest of this list, and then get up out of here. 74, sake. I don't know why sake is so low on this list. There's so much, you know, so many things to say about sake. You've heard me talk about it in the past. You probably, hopefully you drunk it in the past. Again, Yaya Kawakuchi, Dai Ginjo. You can't go wrong with those two words. Again, Yaya Kawakuchi, Dai Ginjo. Even Kawakuchi is okay, but Dai Ginjo is like, you know, I might do in the don't tie me to it, but I might do like a sake breakdown. But basically, Dai Ginjo is like the highest quality. There's Ginjo, Dai Ginjo, and then no, there's Dai Ginjo, Ginjo, and then something else. I forgot the lower level ones. But the quality of the sake. So Dai Ginjo is going to be the highest quality sake. Of course, you know, in Dai Ginjo there's different levels and grades within that, right? But that's gonna taste a lot better, a lot smoother than the lower level ones, and the different sweetness and dryness of the sake. But whatever, I'm not gonna get too deep into it right now, just because I'm trying to get the fuck out of here. It's past midnight. Next one, 73, Japanese desserts. I'm not a huge fan of Japanese desserts. They look nice, but they don't really taste that good to me. You know, I eat them if they're kind of powdery for the most part. Like the ones in the picture, they're kind of powdery. Yeah, whatever. You know, I'm not really too much into it. 72, see, why is Ama-chan ahead of sake? It doesn't make any sense. But they're free diving Japanese pearl collectors. I think if you Google this, you'll find some topless pics. I think they used to dive topless in the 60s. Yeah, right. They were a topic of much interest in the West for many years because they dove wearing only a loincloth up to the 60s. Yeah, basically they're just diving topless, you know. Hey, come on, man, you know me. Like, I mean, I've seen some pictures and, you know, it looks exotic. Got my motor going, you know. That's all I can say about that. Omiyage 71, yeah, which is just gifts. Again, souvenirs. Buying souvenirs. Let me give you one piece of advice. If you have coworkers, you have Japanese friends, you're in a relationship, if you go on, don't fucking tell anybody you're going on vacation. Don't do it unless you're prepared to buy them a souvenir. That whole group gets one souvenir. You know, your girlfriend, she needs a souvenir. Your friend, Japanese friends, they need souvenirs. You just gotta buy souvenirs for everybody. I'm sorry, that's just the way it is in this country. Sometimes I just don't tell people I'm going anywhere. I'm sorry, I just gotta be real with you. If I don't feel like paying for a bunch of goddamn souvenirs, you know, and trying to keep track of how many people I spilled the beans that I'm going on a fucking onsen trip to, like, I just shut the fuck up. Don't tell anybody I'm going anywhere because I just know I'm supposed to buy souvenirs for everybody. It's just fucking annoying sometimes. So I just learned to shut the fuck up, man. Like, especially around Japanese people, you know, because they'll be like, "Oh, so how was your trip?" And then you just go like, "Oh shit, fuck, I forgot to bring a souvenir. Fuck, I'm an asshole." Like, you know, they know, they keep track. So just don't tell anybody, you know, unless you're prepared to buy everybody a souvenir. That's the best advice I can give you. Trust me. 70, hot coffee and hot pet bottles. Yeah, hot pet is kind of strange to me. It's like hot plastic bottles, which is good in wintertime. Yeah, you can buy from vending machines. They do have hot drinks that come in plastic bottles. Hot coffee is not really, you know, my big thing. I do drink it in a pinch at work recently just to keep myself, you know, flowing and going, you know, because I'm up nights checking shit, doing shit. So, but yeah. It's good. It's delicious. It's great. Japanese fashion, 69. Yep. 69 is fashion. Yeah. Their Japanese fashion is a big thing here in Japan. If you are a fashionable person, even if you aren't, you will notice that everyone here is quite trendy. It's just something you have to adjust to. Walking outside and walking around in flip flops and fucking yoga pants is not really the thing for women to do here. Yoga pants are kind of becoming a little bit of a thing, kind of, but it's not really widespread. It's kind of got to be done right, in my opinion, in Tokyo fashion terms. But yeah, I don't think you have to follow all of the high fashion trends, but just do your best. Keep yourself, put together the best way you can. Definitely hygiene, clean shaven, hair, do something with that, to the best of your abilities. Don't just be like, fuck it. Please don't. Please don't. You will, especially if you're in a relationship. Don't do it. It's not cute. All right. 68 small bars and restaurants. It's not really my thing. I think I've told you so many times in the past, I want to meet new people. I want to like mingle, and small restaurants and bars are just not the place to do that. I mean, if you want to practice your Japanese, that's a place to go. But not really, because most of the people there will probably want to practice their English. If you're new to Japan, I would say, yeah, small restaurants and bars are a good place to go. Just plop yourself down. Some people will be friendly with you. But for me, it's just no real benefit to that at all. I've just been here long enough to really know what's up, to be able to communicate with people in Japanese. I kind of know where the conversation's going to go. It's just not going to be a thing for me at all. So, yeah. Kaiseki. Kaiseki is traditional Japanese multi-purpose dinner. Don't really have too much to say about that. It's just Japanese food. And where are we? Tatami, love it, love tatami. You've heard me talk about tatami so much in the past. It's just a great surface, great flooring. It just you gotta take care of it. I've talked about how I ruined my tatami in the guest house I live in the past by putting my computer chair all over it, and when it's gone to shit, it's just gone to shit. Trust me, ugh. But but in general, like, if you take care of it, don't put anything heavy on it, don't drag anything over it. It's a great surface to have. I had like a nice little futon on it, a little cushion futon. That little get memories of that thing. It served me right in my 20s. Okay. But yeah, it's a good surface. If you got a place with some good tatami, I think you're good to go. Just make sure you take care of it. Vacuum it. If you live in a southern part of Japan, be careful, because you can get kind of dust mites on there that will fuck you up. So you gotta make sure you vacuum it. Let air flow through and all that shit. So, hang out your futon and all that jazz. But whatever. But it's a great surface. Manga cafes, not really my thing, but for those who are, people love them. People love them. 63 New Year's cards. Again, this is another thing that, yeah, I'm happy. Like, I don't really have private students that send me New Year's cards anymore. At one point in time, I was writing like 15 New Year's cards when I was like freelancing a year. It was such a pain just to get I'm just happy that part is over. I just avoid it. Don't even start it if you can avoid it. Tattoos, yep. Again, tattoos are being more accepted in Japan, but it's not really a thing here. I don't have any tattoos. I'm not anti-tattoo. I think I've told you before, that time in my life just passed me by. I'm comfortable enough in my own skin to be able to like not go back and redo the shit that I didn't do in my 20s. Like, I'm fine without a tattoo, man. Like, I'm not knocking anybody who has a tattoo. I'm just saying, like, I ain't, at that point in time, I didn't think, I gave my background story previously in the podcast. I'm not going to go over it, but yeah, it's just, tattoos are not a thing here. So you have to tread carefully if you do have one. That's all I'm saying. Just know the rules, the do's and the don'ts. That's all. And 61 is masks. And this picture of is the shit that I used to see all the time when girls don't really dress like this so much anymore. Like the high, I think this is like, about 10 years ago fashion. Like high, this is like around when I was here in Japan. Girls used to dress like this all the time. Like, thigh high stockings, thigh high socks, and, coats or shorts. And yeah, sometimes so you see this walking down the street, all over the place. You'd be like, okay, what's this? What's going on right here? And she turns around, she's wearing a mask. And you're like, God damn it. She's wearing a surgical mask. It's just fuck the whole vibe up. Of course, you're probably getting used to this in Western countries now, but this is something I've just been dealing with since I've gotten here for the past 16 plus years. So it's not a big deal to me. But yeah, 16, I'm going on 17, 16 and a half years, damn. So I'm sure that the world has adjusted to face masks, but it was something that took a bit of adjustment for me coming here. So but yeah, so all right, let me hurry up and wrap this episode up, because again, I just want to start tomorrow fresh, because I'm still don't exactly know what my schedule is going to be for tomorrow. So all right, let me get the fuck out of here. Again, just show me some patience over the next month, and I'll holler at you next time. Peace.